Thank you. But really what's helped me affect change in people has been my clients. They've shown me the ones that have achieved what they want to achieve. They've taught me how they've done that. So what I thought we'd do is we'd start with a little experiment. Should we play a little game? Yeah. You all like games? Yeah. I will take this as agreement. Okay? So, okay, here's what I want you to do. I want you to think of something that you want. Something that you want. So this could be, I know none of you all are materialistic or anything like that, right? So none of you want money and cars and houses. Of course not. But imagine something that you want. It might be a nice new car. It might be a house. It might be something you want to have happen in your business or in your life. I just want you to think about something that you want to have happen. Okay? You'll do that. Again, I'll take random blinking and a blank stare as agreement. Good. So, you all got that, yeah? Just give me a nod. Yeah. Yes, James.
Yes, James.
Thank you. We will do your spell. Right, so here's what I want you to ask yourself. How do you know you want it? You're not supposed to laugh at that one.
Someone was thinking of something very specific.
Clearly.
They
Clearly. So just ask yourself, how do I know I want that? How do I know I want that thing? Because here's something that I've picked up, having now, in terms of hours of coaching, since 2005 when I first started working with wonderful people like us who want to affect change in the world, do good, who like exploring ideas and potential and all these kind of things. I've done something like near on like 3,000 to 5,000 hours of coaching with people. And this is always the question I ask when people come to me with their goals now. It's not, well, what's stopping you have it? What's stopping you have your goal? Not anymore. Now it's like, how do you know you want it? How do you know you want it? Now, this came to me because, so you can stop asking that question, otherwise that gets a bit weird. If you keep asking it over and over, it's a bit weird. This came to me because I thought that I wanted to be the coach that was on the phone all the time, had the blocked out diary, years ahead. Can you imagine that? Like the success coach, like, hey, I've got clients till September next decade, you know. I wanted to be that kind of like, I'm fully booked. In fact, there was even a book I read called, I think it was something like The Fully Booked Coach or something like that. And I was like, man, I want to be that. I want to be like so busy and so successful. That's success. So I went all for it, and I was like, man, right, that's it. And I did all the strategies they teach you, the 7-step strategy, the 9-step promotional thing. They're always odd numbers. Do you notice that? Everything they teach you is always odd numbers, isn't it? It's never sort of like the 2 steps to success. It's always got to be 3. Which got me thinking, maybe they just add on the 3rd is just like, do the first 2. Just so they can have an odd number, yeah. So I was doing all that stuff, and pretty soon, lo and behold, what happens if you really want something? And you work hard to do it, and you take action. What kind of stuff happens? You get it, right? It's like you'll get what you wish for. So, bear with me 2 seconds. I've got 3 drinks here to decide from. Good choice, water. Much better than Coke and wine. So, I went all at it. Right? I read all the books. Can I come down the steps a little bit?
Yeah,
it's a little bit kind of weird up here. There we go. There we go. I'm just going to start crooning and walking through the garden. So you, sir. Hey. So I worked really, really hard, and within a short period of time, I was that successful coach. So I was on the phone all the time, speaking to people, yeah. Most of the sessions were free sessions, let's make no mistake. And then what I would do at the end of a session is I would sell people to work with me more. Everyone familiar with that? Any coaches in the room? Anyone who doesn't just communicate through blinking in the room? Yes. I will take Morse code then. Okay, so I was on the phone all the time, and this is what happened, right? So I remember one day I'd done about, I don't know, 6 months like this, right? Working every week, hours and hours, every single day. Free calls with people, trying to sell them. I'm lousy at selling over the telephone, so it's always easy, a bit fumbly and stuff like that. And I was really insecure because I thought back then the idea was if you wanted to help people, what you had to do was overwhelm them with information. Not the case. So I remember this one particular time that changed everything, and which is the reason why I now have you ask the question, how do I know I want this? Because there I am right now in the house that I used to live in. I had a little office. It was about as big as this rug, with a big desk and all this kind of stuff, right? There was no room to do anything, but I had my Jerry Maguire headset, so I felt good. Do you know what I'm saying? You all know what I'm... No? Okay. I had an ego then. And so there I'm at, and I'm like, with my clients, I'm on the phone, I'm like, yeah, you want to try my 3-step strategy. Step 1, think this. Step 2, do this. Step 3, do the first 2. And so I would just be going crazy. I'm on the phone, a bit like that. The phone was ringing off the hook, like you could hear behind the bar. That was my life. It's like, I'm on the phone, answer it. So anyway, this one particular day, get the phone. So on this one particular day, I just landed this new client in the States. I'm really excited. They're paying more. Hi, Jenny.
Hello.
They're paying more. And I'm like really sort of, I want to impress them. So there I am, I'm kind of on the phone. I'm like, yeah, you want to do this. Now, the office, you could get to it from the house, but not from within the house. You had to go out of the back of the kitchen door, down the decking, and then there was the little cubicle office, right? And I wanted that, the whole reason I started coaching was because I wanted this dream of being able to work from home. Anyone like that or has that already? Hands in the air, interactive part of the talk. Raise your hand. So like that was what I wanted. I wanted to be, because my kids were just being born, and I was like, I want to spend more time with my children. I want to be at home working, and then just be able to see my kids all the time. Awesome, right? So anyway, my kids are in the house with their mother, looking after them, all this kind of stuff, right? So I'm coaching. Now, parents in the room, please raise your hand. Any parents? Okay. This is the bit where I lose you. None of you all are going to get this, right? But when you've got kids, just imagine some shit that's really important to you. Jesus. I wonder why you all look so happy. You're like, yeah, David. You look so worry-free. What is that? Anyway, so when you're a parent and you've got little kids, you've got a little radar on all the time that's like, boo, where are they? Boo, ding, there they are. Boo, ding, there they are. So even though I'm working in the office, and even though I know their mother is like looking after them, I'm still kind of like, man, my kids better not come anywhere near me. So I'm coaching, and I hear my little girl, she's 1 year old at the time, and I hear the kitchen door open, and she goes, Daddy, Daddy. Now I'm on the phone to a client, and I was really, I'm pretty insecure, and I was imagine this times 100 back then. I was like, please don't come out. So I'm on the phone, and I just start talking louder and quicker to the client so that the client hopefully doesn't hear that my daughter's coming out. I know, weird, right? Like nowadays I just say, sorry, my little girl's coming out, bear with me a second, I just got to give her a cuddle and send her on her way. But back then it was like, I was like, oh man, I have to overcompensate, I need to seem professional. And I just want to put a quick idea, a little side point out here, by the way. When did professional become cold, distant, and formal? Do you all notice that? It's like, I'm going to be professional. That means, yeah, anyway. I have to be formal. I have to look serious and not share my life. Anyway, so there I am. I'm on the phone. I'm talking louder because I'm like, oh my God, my little girl's going to come through. What am I going to do? And she said, Daddy, Daddy. I'm like, it's okay. Her mother will come out, get her, take her back in the house. It'll be fine, I'm sure. Anyway, that doesn't happen. I'm on the phone, tiny little office. There's the door. It's like a glass-fronted door. I draw the net curtain. Ridiculous. It's ridiculous, right? So I keep talking to the client. I'm like, yeah. This is a great strategy. It's 3 steps, baby. You're gonna love it. And then there's the banging at the door. Daddy, Daddy. She just learned to walk. She's like a year old. That's all she can say is like, Daddy. And like, I in that moment, I don't even care for my daughter. That's not the humorous part of this talk, by the way. But like at that time, I'm actually wanting my daughter to go away. Weird stuff, right? So anyway, I keep talking, I'm talking. The door, the little pewter handle goes down, door starts to open. Oh my God, what will happen? I'll seem unprofessional, bang! I'm like, shit. I took the microphone away so the client didn't hear me say shit. But do you see that, like, I thought I wanted something, right? I thought I wanted to be this busy coach because I thought that that would give me more time with my family. And then I learned that proximity is different from time, isn't it? Proximity is different from quality time. So you can work at home, you can be around your family and not actually present with them. Anyone had an experience like that? I'll take the blinking as yes. And pretty soon after that, I started to look at different ways that I could actually leverage my time so I could actually spend time with my daughter. Here's the thing though, it took me a year and a half doing something I thought was what I wanted for me to figure it out. Now, quick little experiment. That's the end of the story. Interactive part right now. You know that thing you want? And I asked you, you know the thing you want? Give me a yeah, James!
Yeah, James!
Yeah. Don't worry, real speakers will be coming real soon. Just bear with me, we've got 2 minutes. So, don't laugh too much, otherwise that confirms it. So you know that thing you think you want, right? And the question is, how do you know you want it? I'll give you a quick example. I got a bee in my bonnet once. I really needed an Aston Martin. Anyone here got an Aston Martin? I got a bee in my bonnet that I wanted one. I was like, man, I need an Aston Martin. All my other marketing buddies had Aston Martins, and I was like, man, I need an Aston. Till one day I sat in one. I'm quite large. I know I'm a long way away. Some of you all at the back probably see, but when you sit in an Aston Martin, you've got a window that looks about that big. I had a panic attack in the Aston Martin. The Aston Martin in my dreams, I only saw it from the outside. I never actually sat in one. The minute I sat in one, my dream changed instantly. So my question is, go back to that thing you think you want. How do you know you want it? Is it, now here's the little checklist, is it based on some experience you've had? So did anyone think of like a car they want or a house they want or something physical? By show of hands. You're so evolved. Look at you. Like that. No, James, we were just thinking about like peace on earth. We want the orcas to be. The orcas is a good course, by the way. No mocking there, no joke. But all right, think of something you want that's physical, because this is an easy way. Think of like a car or a house or some shit like that. Imagine that you're a cold capitalist being. Think of something you think you want like that, like maybe it's a handbag or a special phone or a car or a house. And then again, ask yourself, how do you know you want that? If it's not based upon you having tested it out, how do you know you want it? Likewise, if you want to experience, if you want to go to a country, if you want to visit somewhere and do something, and you're like, man, I so want to do that, what's that based on? And here's what I found. I'm going to wrap up, because Shay stood up ages ago, so I have no idea how long this has been. How long have we been going?
15 minutes.
Woo! Okay, we're going to finish up. Right now. But first, before we go, let's tell you a quick story. I took a pee next to Tony Robbins once, just before I worked with him. And when we left the toilet, I had to work with him, right? I had 8 minutes to work with him. And I more than doubled his sales. But here's the thing. Have you ever had those awkward moments where you're taking a pee, I hadn't yet been introduced to him, and when we came out and then we were introduced, we had to pretend like we hadn't just taken a pee together? It was weird. I'll tell you that story later. But anyway, let's finish up. Look to test your wants as soon as possible. Does that make sense? Get a proper visceral experience. And don't do what I do and commit to like a year and a half of doing something that makes you miserable. Okay? So if it's somewhere you want to go, if it's a place you want to visit, if it's something you want to own, a kind of people you want to hang out with, test hanging out with them first. All too often, we buy into other people's dreams. What I found in like the personal development industry, most of my clients are gurus and experts and authors and really well-known coaches, and oftentimes they're just borrowing somebody else's dream. Does that make sense? It's just like, well, that person did that and wants that, so that seems attractive to me too. Until they try it out. And then they go, that's not attractive to me, actually. So the invitation I have for you tonight, when you walk away from here, some kind of value. Jesus, I mean, man, I've got to leave something behind. Apart from sweat on the microphone for whoever's up next. Sorry. It's hot down here. I've got my coat on, that's weird. Test out your dreams, team. Will you do that? Look to see, like if you want a car, what do? You take a test drive in it, right? Take a test drive in your dreams, whatever it is you want to do. If you want to go somewhere, if you want to be with certain people, if you want to do certain things, test it out small first. And what I found is that is such a key secret to then achieving and getting the things that you want, not only quicker, but it'll feel much nicer. Because you'll have a real world experience of whether it works for you or not. Does that make sense? Are you all up for that?
Yeah.
Give me a hell yeah! I forced you into that one. It's alright. Alright, that's really all I have to say tonight. Thank you so much for your patience and your blinking. I really appreciate it. I've been James Lavers.